This is the morning of the 31st, the early morning of the 31st of July, 2024. Article put up by Fox, written by Andrea Vacciano, Vacciano, published on the 30th of July. IDF kills Hezbollah commander behind brutal attack on children's soccer field, officials. Fuad Shukr, whose death is unconfirmed by Hezbollah, was wanted by U.S. government in connection to the 1983 Marine barracks bombing in Beirut. Let's listen to the short clip. Plays for a minute and 48 seconds. You'll hear what Brett Baer has to say.
Good evening. Welcome to Washington. I'm Brett Baer. Breaking tonight, we're following two major stories. The acting head of the Secret Service gets a grilling from senators over the attempted assassination of former President Donald Trump. We will have the highlights. There are a lot of them. But we begin tonight with Israel striking back over the murder of a dozen children by Hezbollah rocket fire this past weekend. Israeli forces striking Beirut, Lebanon, in what the Israelis say was a successful mission to kill the terrorist commander in charge of that attack. And tonight, people are holding their breath collectively in the region to see if this could mark a major escalation in the Middle East. Correspondent Trey Yanks has the latest tonight from Tel Aviv. Good evening, Trey.
Brett, good evening. Tonight, the Israeli military confirming that a senior Hezbollah commander was killed in the Beirut strike, an explosion rocking the Lebanese capital earlier this evening, as the IDF says that Fuad Shukr was the target. We do know this is a man that's been on the Israeli radar for years. The Israelis blamed him for the deadly rocket attack on Saturday that killed 12 Druze teenagers and children in the Golan Heights. Israel's defense minister said the attack crossed a red line, and a senior Israeli official said the strike in Beirut was about sending a clear message to the Iran-backed group. The source went on to say that Israel isn't seeking war with Hezbollah, but it's up to Hezbollah what comes next. Right now, there's no change in the Israeli Home Front Command, meaning no special instructions for civilians. Tonight, the Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu was in Tel Aviv holding a security assessment following the strike in Beirut as the region braces for what comes next. Brett?
Trey Yanks, live in Tel Aviv. Trey, thanks.
Well, you heard what he said. They killed him. Israeli Defense Forces IDF on Tuesday announced the death of Fuad Shukr, the Hezbollah commander who was behind a drone strike that killed 12 children and teens over the weekend. Shukr was also known as Haj Moshan, joined Hezbollah in 1985. He was also sought by the U.S. government over his connection to the 1983 suicide bombing of the Marine Corps barracks in Beirut that killed 241 U.S. service members. I wonder why they waited so long to whack this pile of garbage. Shukr served as a senior advisor to Hezbollah leader Hassan Nasrallah at the time of his death in an IDF strike on Tuesday in southern Beirut. The IDF confirmed the news in a press release announcing that its fighter jets eliminated the Hezbollah terrorist organization most senior military commander, Shukr, in Lebanon's capital city. In a statement on Wednesday, Hezbollah confirmed he was in the building when it was hit, but didn't say whether Shukr was killed, according to the Times of Israel. See a photograph of this dirtbag. They all look the same, don't they? As the head of Hezbollah's strategic unit, Fuad was responsible for the majority of Hezbollah's most advanced weaponry, including precise guided missiles, cruise missiles, and anti-ship missiles, long-range rockets, and UAVs, the release said. Where did they get all those from? Oh, I know, Iran, the same country that Obama gave, what, $100 billion or $1 billion, whatever the hell it was. It was a plane full of cash. He was responsible for force buildup, planning, and execution of terror attacks against the state of Israel. Recently, Hezbollah killed a dozen children on a soccer field in a Druze village of Majaz Shams in a rocket strike on Saturday. Hezbollah has denied involvement, though the IDF and military dispute the claim. The strike infuriated Israeli officials, prompting the IDF to launch missiles at Lebanon shortly after. One missile struck an apartment building next to the hospital in the heart of Iraq neighborhood of Beirut. A senior Israeli official told Fox News earlier on Tuesday that Israeli Minister of Defense Yoav Gallant was in contact with U.S. Secretary of Defense Lloyd Austin regarding the present situation. This was about sending a clear message. We don't want to see a wider war, the source said. Now this is in the hands of Hezbollah. Within 24 hours after the rocket attack on the Golan Heights, his response was being discussed among other options. On X, Gallant said Shukr has the blood of many Israelis on his hands. Tonight we have shown that the blood of our people has a price and that there is no place out of reach for our forces. To this end, he added. Representative Mike Waltz, Republican Florida, commended the IDF for eliminating Shukr in a statement on X, where he referenced the 1983 attack on a Marine barracks. For the families and victims of the 1983 Beirut bombing, thank you, Israel, wrote Waltz, an Army veteran, Semper Fi. I'll attach the link. Look at it, pass it along, and thanks for listening.